As I stepped through the trees, I found myself immersed in a total darkness I've only experienced in the moments between dreams. Behind me were the last remnants of a party filled with people that I didn't know, at a university that I didn't know, in a city, a state, a part of the US that I didn't know. And there I was with a man I barely knew. I had just moved to Washington State 1 week before, and I'd already made plans with a friend that I met on OkCupid. We were just seeking friends, nothing more. He had a boyfriend. I had just gotten out of a relationship that ended very poorly because one person decided to cheat on another. I am not the guilty party. So there I was, entering this void of anything and everything. A form of cold so thick and moist and dense that I choked on it. And I should have been afraid. And I was. I'm not an idiot. But I felt comforted by the fact that the person that I was there with was so comfortable and so familiar with the university that we were at, Evergreen University, as many of you are familiar with, that he so excitedly wanted to show me something out beyond the woods that he told other people where we were going. And they, without telling me anything, knew exactly where that was. So I was not going to become a statistic that night, thank God. But there I was. The darkness was so pure, I could not see my hand in front of my face at this distance. I could not hear anything because the mud beneath us muted any footsteps that I would have made. And he was just far enough ahead of me that any sort of sounds that he could have made, I was immune to. But that did not stop me from entering this forest. Stay close, he said. I don't want you to get lost. The sound of his voice pierced through my head like a blue and purple dart, so vibrant, so singular that I had no choice but to hear him and follow, because if I didn't, I couldn't feel that sense again of him speaking to me and caring about me. I had just ended a relationship with somebody that, without going into too much detail, had decided that at a bar he would start buying drinks for my hotter, funnier friend, and then leave with him, and then get into a car accident, and then ask me for help. I wasn't about that. I was here because I needed to escape the kind of people that would do that kind of thing and think it would be okay to get away with that from me. I needed new people in my life, even if that meant abandoning everything that I was familiar with, even if that meant being here, choking, feeling surrounded, wrapped, blanketed by nothing. After a moment, I felt his hand grab mine. And the shock of warm familiarity shot through me like a white lightning bolt. And I just felt so comforted and secure and protected. I immediately pulled my hand back. I'm okay, I said. You have a boyfriend, I thought. I'm not going to cross that boundary. I'm not going to be the motherfucker who goes off and fucks with somebody else's boyfriend even though you're supposed to be friends with them. Fuck that shit. I am going to be the guy that's here with a friend going to go do friend things like friends do. So I pulled my hand away, and there was a moment where the void became thicker, dense, charged with this not talking. Okay, just keep up. So he moved, and I did my best to follow suit. A thing about darkness that you may not realize, if you're like me, from a city that never has darkness of any sort, is that it's a real thing. Pitch black is not just the name of a movie. It is something that you cannot understand until you're in the middle of a forest where there are no city lights, there are no stars above, there is nothing but you. So as I'm walking, I keep slipping and sliding because being from LA, I'm not prepared for real weather and real nature. I have slick skate shoes that are meant to keep me attached to a board that is meant to grip my feet, not the other way around. So when suddenly my feet slip out from underneath me and my world goes topsy-turvy and I fall flat on my ass in a puddle in the middle of the woods, in the middle of the dark, with just a sweater, I was miserable. I wanted to go home. I wanted to leave the school. I wanted to leave this forest. I wanted to leave the state. I wanted to go back home. I wanted to do anything but be right here, right now, with this man that I barely knew, that I was willing to even consider maybe rekindling things, just for a moment. I felt him grab my arm and pull me up. A thing to note about this guy, I'm a big dude. He's a big dude. He could lift me like that, no problem. And he did. And he righted me, and he said, "I'm sorry. I should have warned you. That was my fault." And I said, "Yeah, that's cool." And once again, he grabbed my hand. And this time, when I tried to pull away, without saying anything, he held it strong. I cannot explain to you what it felt like for that one little anchor to reality. The warm heat of his hand drove through me, negated all the cold that I felt from everything around me. The lack of warmth, the lack of sunlight, the lack of dryness was nothing in his hand. So we continued, and we walked, and I thought, and I thought, and I thought, and I thought, this is wrong. This is not okay. I can't see the forest for the trees right now. I cannot see what this will do to him if anything happens here. I cannot see where this will go if I become the person that I try to leave behind. And then above me, the skyline split. The darkness was parted, and a flood of stars spread through the skies above me. The stars lapping on the shores of unreality. And suddenly, everything felt okay. I was no longer alone. I had something to look forward to. "Keep close," he said. "I'm so excited for you to see this." And we walked. We did not talk, but he was, through the energy coursing through his hand, through the grip, through the warmth, through just the feeling surrounding us, I knew that something good was on the horizon. And as we continued to walk, the split between the trees became a river, and that river spilled into an ocean, and the trees parted out further, and I could see the beauty that is out there in this place where sky and light can be separate things. But then, as we walked, things became wrong again. This is the most romantic moment I've had in my entire life. And I am having it with somebody I shouldn't. And it seemed as if to punish me, the horizon of endless possibilities started playing mind games with me. It was no longer out ahead and above. It seemed to be going down beneath my point of view. Nothing felt right. The world felt wrong. Everything felt wrong. And I was back in the headspace again, knowing that I shouldn't be here, that I shouldn't be this person, I shouldn't be here with this person either. And I tried to correct myself. I tried to lean into the hill. Something had to be wrong. Why are the stars going down? I'm doing something wrong. And I leaned so much that he went, hey, what are you doing? What's wrong? I tried to explain. Everything's wrong. I feel like I'm going crazy right now because that's not right. This isn't right, I thought. No. This is what I wanted to show you. We continue to walk. And finally, the silhouettes of things began to make sense to me. And we approached the shore of a lake. And the stars, indeed, transcend above and then blend below, but they were not stars beneath. Instead, he explained, these are bioluminescent phytoplankton, native only to this area. Anything you can imagine can be done in the right circumstances. This may not have been the right circumstance for me, but I let him continue to hold my hand as we gazed out into the endless starscape. Thank you.